I'm getting to the questions from Instagram. I wanted to respond in this format simply because it's hard to watch on IG and you can replay this back over and over and over again to your leisure. So, welcome, Michigan. He's going to shoot the questions at me. I'm going to answer them and attempt to stay on topic.
Okay, so the first question we get is from Hellcat_FX. What are the average trades you take per week?
Varies depending on if the setup comes. So, I would say on an average, I take about 3 to 5. And I also filter out, so like I can healthily manage 3 to 5 trades per week. Sometimes more setups happen, but once I start to get overwhelmed, you will never see me with 8 trades running at the same time. So to answer that, 3 to 5.
So the question is from Kiwi0301 Kiwi. Are there other levels worth looking at besides the London fix?
Yes, but I'll have to leave you to do that research because let's say I say, hey, it's XYZ level. I'm probably going to confuse you more than I help you. But yeah, there are more levels to look at other than the London fix.
From AJ Hoop 91. How do you find liquidity zones?
There's 2 ways to do this. So, well, actually, the answer is more complex than it is simple because there's liquidity, then there's lack of liquidity. Many people think liquidity is wicks. So, yeah, it could be wicks. But the wick can also mean there's an absence of liquidity, aka buyers or sellers leaving the market. So it's hard to tell. That's why I think you need to be very versed in chart reading. That is so complicated. But it's simply a supply demand pattern, the rally base rally, drop base drop, the drop. Gosh, it's too many to name off. Try that. And then also toy around with the wicks because, again, the wick can mean liquidity, the wick can mean an absence of liquidity, but it's definitely not stop losses.
Okay. This is from Camus_Lucas go_June_Lee. But how do I spot limit orders without indicators? I thought we need certain tools to help spot them.
All right, that's going to kind of be the same answer as the last question. One, you're looking for that supply demand pattern. I'm going to be a little cryptic on this one because not every supply demand pattern zone is going to work. So you have to look at them at key areas. Now I'm going to say look for them around highs and around lows. And then the second part is learning to read the chart, aka the wicks. What do the wicks mean? Do the wicks mean that there's buyers coming into the market? Does the wick mean that there's buyers or sellers leaving the market? It's twofold, it's complex, but it's simple. You have to figure out what levels, what prices you're trading because limit orders are a function of price. Chris Laurie always says price movement is a function of available liquidity. So look at the cause and effect. Look where a move started versus where it finished. And you'll probably find some limit orders there, but it doesn't show up the same way every time.
So this is the same person asked a couple questions, so we'll group the next two.
Okay.
What is something I should focus on the NASDAQ chart or something to learn? Can you apply the same concepts as you do to Forex, or is it similar, but are there a few differences?
So the answer would be yes and no because it's a little bit different. There is sometimes more liquidity, there's sometimes less liquidity in the equities. Look around the London fix. Look at the highs and the lows and don't take a random swing high and a random swing low because your favorite trading influencer said, "Oh, the swing point." Nah, don't do that. Daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly highs, quarterly lows. You want to watch those too because they're more sensitive because they have to push higher or push lower because those are so heavily traded. If you think about it, mutual funds, hedge funds, your 401ks, your 403bs, all that's tied into those markets, right? So they're going to be more sensitive to highs and lows. So I will challenge you to say, I'm going to follow the trend once a time frame lower reverses. Happy decoding.
The next question is from NPay871. Do you also study the macros to trade Forex?
Oh, let's be controversial. No, I don't. I don't. The only thing I look at is the interest rate differentials. So if you look at right now, the ECB interest rate differential is 5, right? For their interest rate is 5. The US is between 5.25 and 5.5. So that what does that mean? That means that dollars are going to be bullish against currencies. So that is the only thing I look at. But that doesn't mean randomly buy or sell it, right? You could if you're just a long-term investor, but I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not sitting through drawdown. That's just ridiculous. So piggyback that off of the last question. Find a high, find a low, find a key price to follow the trend at. But that is the only fundamental I look at. I don't give a crap about NFP. I don't care about the CPI. I don't care about none of that. And again, it's controversial, I know, but I started out studying charts. And in all of my work, NFP has never mattered. In all of my work, CPI data hasn't mattered. It will just push my trade to the level that I want to exit or take profit at. That's it.
And this is just a thank you note from E. Katerina. You are the only trader who took time to reply to my question in my most difficult time. Thank you.
Wow, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. I will answer your questions because I remember being on the opposite end of trading with no one to talk to, no one to bounce ideas off of. Uh, the journey is very lonely, so I will do my best to answer any question anyone ever sends me. Um, I hope the answer to the question that you asked was helpful for you.
This is from underscore taku underscore raw. Could you please explain how you used your human design in your trading?
So even before I knew what my human design was, I couldn't make sense of any trading course. I could make sense of Chris Laurie's because he was teaching us how to buy low, how to sell high within reason, right? But I set out to understand, okay, what does the market like? Because the way I see things, I like to reverse engineer stuff, right? So, for example, my very first car, my third day driving it, I blew the timing belt, just being an idiot. So I said, okay, you know what? I need to figure out what I did. Took the engine apart and couldn't put it back together. So I am not a mechanic. I know that because I responded to the confusion. So put that into trading. I was looking for the reason, okay, why did the market stop here? Why did it go here? What was the reason? So I started to reverse engineer price movement. And that's how I started to see the key levels because I wanted to see what the market responds to get to the human design aspect. I am a manifesting generator. The theme of a generator, how a generator best moves through life is through response. So I was already doing it and it worked great for me. Now, being that 70% of the world is generators or generator type, most of you guys probably have to trade that way anyway. So I'll give you an example for a projector. A projector begins with the end goal in mind and then reverse engineers. I think the projector's a better reverse engineer than a generator just because of the way their minds work. But to answer it in a non-trading way, how I met my wife. I met my wife through response. She looked at me, she smiled. I responded by walking over there and sparking up a conversation, right? So that's how I did it. I did it without knowing I was doing it. But now that I mentor people and I ask them for their human design, sometimes I can say, okay, you should trade this way. This way may suit you better.
The next question is from CJ underscore. The next question is from CJU underscore 05. I wish to be like you. How can you assist me?
I'm gonna take that as a compliment. You just have to work hard, make changes, and get rid of your emotions, especially being a trader. Emotion is the enemy of profitable trading. This is what I did. I took the emotion out of it and I tried to figure out a process because I'm just a simple human. I am flawed just like everyone else, right? And I make mistakes just like everyone else. So to quote unquote be like me, start reverse engineering price. Start with my trades. Start to say, hey, when I post a trade, what the hell was Andre thinking here? Right? Well, why did he trade right here? Go to your chart, just draw a simple line back, in time, and maybe that'll spark some motivation. Maybe it'll spark an idea. I don't know, but that's all I did was I reverse engineered price and tried to understand the why. And if you have that brain that's wired for curiosity, do the same thing because if you can't find the answers in the mentor, the answers that you specifically are seeking, you have to find them on the charts yourself. If you like this style of content, comment below. Leave some questions for me to answer in the next Q&A. We're committed to, once a week. We'll see how it goes. I will put another poll on my Instagram, so follow me at Andre's Charts. It's the same username as the YouTube channel. If there's something in particular you want to see, please leave it in the comments. I'll be happy to answer it. Till next time, guys. Peace.